Chapter 44. Back at the station, Kiki and Javea sat opposite Flavio Moro, waiting for him to pull himself together enough to answer questions. He had declined the presence of a lawyer, saying that he had nothing to hide. A few glasses of water later, he was ready to talk. "Flavio Moro, why did you run from me?" Javea decided to start with the facts. The more of these he could establish, the better his case was. And there was some psychology given to him in police training that the more you had someone sitting there saying the word yes, the better chance you had of getting them to say yes to the big question. But these were for later. To begin with, he needed to retrace the events that he could confirm himself. "I didn't know who you were, I just ran." "Do you normally run when you see someone else in the street?" "No." "So where this time?" "Something inside me told me I had to get out of there." "Did you know I was a detective?" "I had a good idea that you were with the local police. You guys all look the same. You did when my brother was killed. You do now. You will do in 100 years' time. If I still look like this in 100 years from now, then I'll consider it a success," Javea quipped. He needed thinking time. "I wouldn't," Flavio replied with disdain. "You lived here as a child?" "Yes." "With your family?" "Yes." "And your mother was quite the crusader in these parts?" "Yes." "You must be very proud." "Yes, I am." "And you ran from someone else recently, yes? From the scene of the death of Hugo Cruz?" "I'd rather you didn't say that name in my presence. That man doesn't deserve the dignity of a name." "And is that why you killed him?" Javea decided to go for the kill. No reason. Just wanted things to move forward as quickly as possible. And that time seemed good as any other. There had been enough uses of the word yes. "Me? You think I killed that thug?" "What else could I possibly think?" "I'm investigating the death of the thug who killed my brother. I want to make sure he is definitely dead. That man has slipped through the net far too many times already. My presence here is merely to confirm that one man is dead." "And how did that lead you to the door of Artie Jackson?" "For the same reason as you. If you follow the timeline back, then you'll have to find out whether Artie Jackson was part of the plan, or whether he was a casualty of the plot to kill a man who should have been put to death many moons ago." "And?" Javea asked, knowing that Flavio had been to Artie Jackson's apartment. "I'm not here to do your job for you, detective. You'll have to get off your backside and do that legwork for yourself. If you can't manage it, then ask one of your female friends. This one here looks twice the cop you are, and the one who stopped me where you couldn't. She's smarter than you, and you know it." Javea thought about Kiki and Angelica. They were both smart. Both were probably smarter than him. But that didn't stop him doing his job. He resolved to get Kiki the promotion she deserved, and he would try not to be so hard on Angelica when all she wanted to do was help. "You mentioned getting revenge," Javea asked, confused. "And the best revenge is to know that your enemy cannot do further harm to society, isn't it?" It was Javea's turn to say, "Yes." There was no reason to keep Flavio Moro in custody. There was no evidence to link him to the death of Hugo Cruz, no matter how much he wanted the man to die. Flavio's taunting was the final insult. The man knew he was going to be released, and he was rubbing it in the detective's face. Flavio's last words when he left the interview room were, "So long." Javea had a million witty remarks lined up in his head to counter, but he knew they were all futile. "Play the long game, Javea," he said to himself.